Hello my friends and welcome back, it's Dragonfall, episode 2. Here we are in the broken subway. You step inside and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face, light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses. Paul Amsel, your team's fixer and landlord, part deal-maker, part information broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin. His eyes sweep across the team as he takes it all in. Grim faces, the hard stares, Iger's fury, Moniker's absence. I had a feeling. How did she... His face has gone ashen. He swallows, takes a moment to chew out the words while speaking them out. How did it happen? Something in the vault security system got her while she was jacked in. It was over in an instant. I've seen Moniker hit black IC before. This was something worse. Glory nods, her motions robotic and spare. Moniker died of biofeedback-induced stroke. That's right. Iger thrusts a gloved finger into your chests, and this idiot stood by and let it happen. Just say nothing. What? Nothing to say about that, rookie? If I'd been in your place, Monica would still be alive and with us. Instead, I left her with you, and now my friend is a corpse in a basement. Look, Iger, you weren't stuck in that basement with us. You don't know how things went down in there, so do us all a favor and shut it down, okay? Shut it down? Fuck that. Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich. You know that. You don't have my training. None of you have. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. Treated the job like a game. Do that long enough and you're gonna get burned. Iger turns her focus back to you. If you'd been paying attention, you would have figured all this out on your own by now. You'd have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Enough, Iger. Amsel's voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough. Iger pushes ahead, heedless of the interruption. Her voice remained measured, but there's fire in her eyes. How many seconds pass between Monica's first convulsion and her plug getting pulled? 4? 5? You know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? Wow, I'm not allowed to, like, stay silent. How dare you? You don't have to answer that. Of course you know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your fault. That is enough. Amsel's voice comes out in a roar. His fist smashes down the desk behind him. Iger, you and Edmund can have it out later, but I've had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he led us to believe, and I want to know why. Right there with you. This is supposed to be a milk run. Payback isn't the only reason we need to find him. We saw something back there, something that we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume we're all still in danger. He pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed, and to neutralize that danger, we need to know who we're dealing with. To review the events that transpired tonight, the smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. Monica lived long enough to say a name. Schwing. She fought hard to tell us. It must be important. Amsel seems taken aback. He pauses for a moment before responding. The fire wing. That is unexpected. You'll have to forgive me. This brings back many unpleasant memories. Gloria raises an eyebrow. The fire wing? The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in their shadow. He glances at Gloria. You are far too young to remember her, of course, but for Germans of my generation, the name Furschwing is synonymous... or maybe Furschwinge. Furschwinge? Maybe? Maybe, like, Norwegian is kind of Germanic. If I say it in a Norwegian accent, it might sound better. Furschwinge is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. Sure thing. Dragons of today are subtle creatures full of patience and guile. Furschwinge was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Ansel takes a deep breath, slowly releases it. There is a haunted look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation and no end in sight. It was a horror you cannot begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine a rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually Firewing was brought down by a man named Dr. Audrien Vauclair. Vauclair? Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course. It was an experimental weapons designed by Vauclair that finally pierced her hide. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire and crashed down in the radioactive wasteland of the Sox. This event was called the Dragonfall! Bum, bum, bum. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated. Vauclair is a hero. Our own Siegfried, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worship the man. If the Dragonfall is an important event that you make it out to be, I'm surprised I never heard of it. Those early years of the Awakening were traumatic, Iger, not just on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, active use of magic had returned to the world. A new source of terror for a bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to another wave of global panic. In 2021... oh, love the 90s. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Vauclair and Firewing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Froschwinge is a bit of historical trivia and nothing more. Alright, Smoker spent a dying breath to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? No, it doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. Dragonfall is ancient history. The dragon has been dead and gone for 42 years, but there's one thing I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she's trying to tell us, it was important. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath and slowly releases it. I'll look into this, I'll find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? The estate was just a front for whatever was going on in the basement. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. The facility took serious funds to build, and time. There's more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. All in secret. The owners, whoever they may be, are none too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? After everything went to hell, you're confronted by an orc in military-grade armor. He appeared to be the head of security. That is not much to go on. Do you know any details about this orc comes to mind? Any distinguishing features I could look into? He was an older guy for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc. And he'd had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. The grafts came from a legitimate hospital. There must be medical records. That is something. I'll see what I can find out. You know anything else during the run that may be of value? That's all we got. It's not much. Ansel nods, his face drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, a long-forgotten world event. Wait, we're still missing something. Who paid for this run? Do not know his exact identity. I did not set up the run. Monica did. I warned her. I told her not to take the job. She assured me it would be a cakewalk. Monica approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F-state political scene. Never much like the man, certainly never trusted him. Monica, she would do anything for a cause, anything for the Flux state. Winter swore the date he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux, and that was all it took. Seems like Green Winters is our best lead then. Yes, most definitely. It's clear that Green Winters is involved in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. When he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably going to rabbit. We need to chase him down before that happens. So we need information on Green Winters, and we need it fast. There's a man here, a Turk named Org Burgazaki. Buragazi? He owns a little soy calf shop just down the way called Cafe Krez? I don't know, man. We're heading into like Polish lettering territory here. I have no idea how to pronounce these words. This man is a purveyor of information. I've done business with him from time to time. Think you would know something about Green Winters? When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Atung. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I did not trust the man. For good reason, it would seem. I'll talk to Ultung? I think it might be Ultung. I mean, it's hard to know what this little accent means. See what he knows about Green Winters. Very well, tell him I sent you. Do what I can to dig into the information that you've uncovered already, sparse though it may be. Alright, did you get the information about Green Winters? No. Not yet. Dietrich turns to your approach, his aging face traced with a network of faint scars, his legacy of too many fights over too many years. He still retains a degree of strength and vigor. It's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all this, there is still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Welcome, got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing, and got a fallen comrade to drink to. To Monica! The liquor in the bottle is crystal clear, and you raise it, you catch an intoxicating whiff of cloves and caramel, taste of sweet corn and walnuts, and a lingering aftertaste of buttery toffee. You swallow a swig, then return the bottle to Dietrich's outstretched hand. He takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes on you. Let me ask you a question, and I'll have it answered immediately. No. Let me ask you a question, Evan. What made you choose to come to Berlin? I had my reasons. Such as, come on boss, I'm just trying to figure out who I'm working for here. I think I deserve to know that much. It's time for a change, that's all. Come on boss, nobody moves to Berlin without a good reason. What's happening here in Berlin is special. I felt the need to be a part of it. Can't fault you there, chummer. I'd have to turn in my punk credentials if I did. Berlin is special. What we got going here in the F-State is anarchy done right. Okay, so you heard the siren song of our fair city, felt it in your bones, yeah? And you just had to take part in it all. So what? So you packed your bags and made your way here, never to return. Sounds about right so far? More or less, there wasn't much left for me in Ruhrplex, and Monaco made me a hell of an offer. Oh yes, Monaco. Dietrich raises his bottle again and closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After a moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. All comes back to our girl, doesn't it? Let me ask you, what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know you two knew each other from way back. She's pretty coy about these things. We're heading into dangerously personal territory here. Are we? Sorry about that. There'd be much for boundaries. All the same, I'd like it if you tell me. Well, I tended to get to know Monica better, but it's too late to ask her in person. I can respect that. It's all deal between you two. Don't leave me in suspense. We're business associates, nothing more. Well, that's your loss, chummer. She's one of the best women I've ever known. Anyway, taking up of your time, and the bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're here with us. Dietrich takes a final pull on the bottle, then tips it forward, pouring the rest on the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. Dante! Start towards the safe outdoor. A large four-legged form stops around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog. Enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Oh shit, Dante. Don't worry, boy, we'll look after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Amsel's eyes well up. He inhales but can't quite catch his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago. Turned into a full-blown howl, wouldn't stop, kept. That's when I realized something bad had happened. Looking down those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Grab Monica's bag of soy jerky treats off the table and give him one. Dante takes the treat in his mouth, but it's clear he has no appetite for it, and the jerky drops to the floor. He leans into you and looks up mournfully, pressing his ribs against your leg. Guess the dog is going with you, Edmund. Amsel takes a ragged breath, then releases it. Slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monaco lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you finish with Oltung, Moin Frud. With a little luck, we can get to locate. He can help us locate Green Winters, and we can get to the bottom of this. Now, I think we should all take a moment for Monica. This is my locker. This is my locker. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Iger glares at you. She can taste the bile in her stare. She clearly believes you for Monica's death. Something I can do for you, fearless leader? You're wrong about me, Iger. I intend to prove that to you. She stares at you a moment and looks away. Best of luck with that, Edmund. Now please, leave me alone. Not just yet. There's something else I want to say. Alright, make it quick. We need to talk about Monica. Not right now, we don't. Don't push me on this, Edmund. One of these days we're gonna hash this out. You can talk all you like about the cluster fuck that killed one of my best friends, but it won't be today. You owe me an apology. You had no right to call me out in front of the team. You want to step away from me, Edmund, right now. Alright, I agree, but this conversation isn't over. It is for now, fearless leader. Get the hell out of my sight. Glory is beautiful in a waffish sort of way. What the hell does that even mean? Her features are almost elvish in their delicacy. There's something cold about her that you find slightly unsettling. What's more unsettling is her chrome. Glory is rocking a heavy loadout of cyberware from head to toe. Looks to be composed of more plastic and metal than she is of skin and bone. In the shadows, individuals such as this are anything but uncommon, but Glory's cyberware is first generation, all of it. Bulky, invasive, practically museum pieces. This chrome was obsolete well before she was born. Edmund, Glory shifts her gaze to you, but her expression is cold and placid as always. Can I help you? Glory, how are you holding up? Don't worry about me, I'm solid. Are you sure? You look like you're a million miles away. I'll be with you when it counts. Right now, it doesn't. Any thoughts on what we should do yet? Next, find our missing client, extract some answers. Beyond that, find another Decker. Monica won't be easy to replace. Best to start looking now. I have a question for you, Glory, of the personal kind. I'm not big on sharing sport, personal reasons, you understand, I'm sure. The edge in her voice tells you she's not interested in continuing this conversation. Sure, I understand, but I still need to talk to you. Glory lets out a weary sigh. Ask questions, but do it quickly. I have things to do. Can't have started running the shadows much more than 5 years ago tops, so watch with the vintage chrome. It was cheap, gets the job done. End of discussion. I don't think so. I've known a lot of street Sams in my time, but never met anyone who'd voluntarily install cyberware that old. You're right, there's more to it than I'm letting on, but I'm not interested in talking about it. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Fine with me. Anything else you need? Nope. Suit yourself. Let's just leave that alone, shall we? The dwarvish tech vendor smiles at you with a practiced ease, her almond eyes twinkling with glare from a dozen tread screens. She speaks in clipped, heavily accented German. Welcome to the Data Haven. Can I help you with something? I need some tech and I'm on a tight schedule. Show me what you got. Okay. Just sort of general check on where we're at tech level wise. There's our cafe. Can you just take her back? That would be funny. Romani Patriarch is an impressive figure, an enormous man in his late 60s, burly and broad-chested despite his age. His voice is deep and resonant, his breath a heavy stench of pipe tobacco. Tarvin Buckstail, Toll, you're here to conduct some business? If so, I welcome you to Metbatch's arms and ammunition. If not, keep right on walking. I'm here to buy. Tell me about your inventory. We have weapons from all across Europe. Ares, Siska, Flechetti, you name it. Can be found on the continent. It can be acquired by Metback Arms. I don't conduct business with supplies I know nothing about. Tell me about Metback Arms. I don't discuss family matters with customers, let alone strangers. Nothing personal, but the answer is no. Understood. Are you always this rude to your customers? His face flushes purple, his slate grey eyes narrow to slits. Macbeth family loves its customers, but if you don't buy anything, you're not a damned customer, are you? From the set of his jaw, you can see he's furious. I'll buy something if it will calm you down. Apology could work the money, though, that I will take. Let's move past this foolishness and get down to business. Yeah, same kind of pricing as before, so like... You are, well, they did nerf the value of the AK, to be fair. But still, the machete is definitely a less valuable item. Let's buy this first. $50. And yet, that is exactly how much I need. Okay. Try our cyber clinic. As you approach the elf, you notice he's in mid-conversation. His lips move rapidly and his voice comes out in a low, quiet tone. A glossy plastic shell of high-grade comlink glints on his wrist. Doing your best to look uninterested, you lean slightly and strain your ears. You find that you can make out the doctor's end of the conversation. No, the price I'm quoting you is more than fair. Well below market value, in fact. If you can't pay it, that's your problem. Because no, the price has gone up. This is a seller's market. Well then, you'll just have to find the money or go without. Sorry, but I have to go. I have a patient. He presses the button on his comlink and looks up, a $1 million smile on his face. Well, sorry for the wait, my friend. Welcome to Triage Cyberclinic. I am Dr. Zyba Ezekiel. And your name is? Edmon, a pleasure. Pleased to meet you, Edmon. What can I do for you today? I need cyberware. What you got? Nothing too exciting yet. Just didn't remember what level of cyberware you have at this point in the game, but it's not great. Before you stands a troll. It's a stretch to say that he is standing at all. His great mass is barely held upright by two vintage prosthetic legs. Along with a crutch under one arm, his body clicks and hums with every shift of his weight. Despite his disabilities, his eyes are sharp and calculating. Do I know here? If you know Monica. Sure I know Monica. Are you one of hers then? Yeah, I'm Evan, by the way. Excuse me, Evan. Name's Aleski Lane. What do you do here? Ache and groan mostly, and try not to be a bother. sound of your approach, the orc turns to face you. He wears a severe expression, but there is a kindness in his eyes. Guten Tag, brother troll. Is there something I can do for you? I couldn't help overhearing a conversation. I take it you run a charity of some sort. He nods. That it isn't much, but it is. But we do what we can. Don't know why. Swallowed the words there. He clears his throat and then begins to count off his fingers. The past several years I've established a shelter where the dispossessed can sleep, a soup kitchen to feed the hungry, and a library for people of the Cross Bazaar to better themselves. It isn't much, I admit, but it's a start. A good start, Samuel. You mustn't be so hard on yourself. There's limits to what one man, even a determined man, can accomplish. That is true. Thankfully, some of the residents that I've helped over the years have come back around to help me. I've got 15 associated orcs and trolls from around the Cross Bazaar working for me now. They help me man the soup line, stock the library shelves, and do all the hundreds of other little things that community organisation needs done every day. These extraordinary individuals are living proof that what we do here has value. They are my inspiration to continue forward. She beams at the compliment. From her body language, it's clear that she idolizes Beckenbauer. Now, do you have any more questions? Ah, excuse me. Bloody springtime. I hate it. Now, if you have any more questions, if not, I bid you a good day. I don't wish to sound self-important or rude, but there are many pressing matters that demand my time. 15 associated orcs and trolls. You mean that other races aren't welcome within your organisation? It's taking a rather narrow view of what we do. Yes, it's true that my assistants are all members of the goblinoid races. It's also true that before they accepted my help, they were thieves, gangers, and deadbeats. It's not because they were bad people, it's because those of us with goblinoid traits are feared, mistreated, and denied gainful employment by a society that hates us. I hire only goblinoids because mainstream human society has created a need for me to hire only goblinoids. Orcs and trolls of Cross Bazaar deserve a workplace where they will be treated with dignity and respect. All that being said, our service is available to all. We wouldn't turn a desperate person away, even regardless of that person's metatype. Even humans, the most privileged of all races, are welcome at our door. Isn't that what's most important? I agree that giving our people a sense of pride is important, but this isn't the right way of going about it. Please, my friend. He shakes his head. Don't make this into something it isn't. Who the hell are you to question Samuel? What have you done for the Cross Bazaar? No, there are more important things to do than argue about this. He nods at you. I'm sure that his heart is in the right place. Now, friend, there are many tasks that demand my attention. Is there something more you need, or shall I bid you farewell? Are you accepting donations? Of course, we're actually desperate for them, truth be told. People seem more intent on taking care of themselves than they are on providing for the less fortunate. Of course, the concepts are not unrelated. As poverty rates increase, so does the crime rate. Assisting the needy increases the quality of life for all. In any event, our shelter has some basic needs that desperately need to be filled. The walls of the shelter are not insulated. New blankets would go a long way to helping our guests... towards keeping our guests healthy and comfortable. Ideally, we want to purchase some space heaters as well. With 250, we could make a purchase of whatever you could... We could make the purchase. Whatever you could spare would be most appreciated. Sorry, I appear to be strapped for cash. Here, take 10. Thank you, Edmund. Every little bit helps. Wish I could do more, but money's tight. Sorry, I'm tapped out for now. Very well, my friend. Thanks for your help. If you see someone in need, be sure to send them our way. We'll do whatever we can to make their lives better. No questions, I'm just passing by. Okay, I think we've pretty much investigated the hub area here. No need for the magic store for me, that's for sure. Here we are in the cafe. Hello, my friend! The voice comes from a man in the chair as enormous as its owner. Deep booming roar, dripping with unrestrained mirth. Fine day for a soy calf, yes? Every day is a fine day. From the back of the store, the voice of the shopkeep cuts you off. Don't mind the fool in the chair. He roars like a traumatized walrus, stewing all day in his own sweat. The man behind the bar glares at Goldschmidt, his upper lip curled in disgust. I tolerate him only because he takes his soy calf by the bucket. Goldschmidt responds with a raucous belly laugh. Apparently he finds the shopkeeper's insults to be hilarious. Ah, Tung, my friend, you are as quick-witted and sharp-tongued as ever. I bow to you. If you wouldn't mind, once again the shopkeeper cuts in. Bow to me, you'd have to first vacate your chair. The shopkeeper claps his hands together, clasping them in front of his chest. For some of the team of determined young men and an ox to assist with the task. Good luck, you will be on your feet by nightfall. Enough of this senseless bickering. You have approached me for a reason, yes? Tell me, what can Jen Goldschmidt do for you? Why'd you put up with those insults? Don't you have any pride? I put up with them because they amuse me. The fact that they amuse me infuriates my dear friend Otong, who in turn hurls more insults. And thus the cycle continues, and 2 years from now... It is 2 years now that I have been your customer, yes? 2 years of soy keft and strained patience, yes. I remain happy, and Otong makes money, an ideal business relationship. All sounds perfectly healthy. Take care, Jen. Until next time, my friend. Man behind the counter looks right past you, and at the dog following close behind. Dante, I will fetch his water dish, and perhaps a coffee for our friend here? Paul Amsel sends his regards. When he hears Amsel's name, the Turk's voice lowers and his accent becomes less exaggerated. His eyes take on a knowing look. Ah, very good. Please express to Herr Amsel my appreciation of his patronage. If he needs any more catering jobs seen to in the future, I'll be happy to provide. He hears me you're developing a menu for a friend of his now, Herr Winters, I believe. I want to hear all about it. Yes, of course, O wise one. Kami, come. A young woman bustles in from the back room. Her gum chewing is loud enough to hear over the noise of the coffee grinders. Burak Ghazi spits something out in rapid-fire Turkish. As you wish, uncle. I will see to it right away. Kami offers you a shy grin, snaps her gum, and hurries to the back room where she came from. The girl Kami is arranging to make contact with the chef as we speak. This will likely take some time. My chef is a busy man. While we wait, I wonder if you'd be so kind as to run a small errand for me. A trifle, really. Hate to trouble you, but I'm embarrassed to even ask. But I would be most appreciative of your help. I'm not an errand boy. I do a job, I get paid. He smiles big, the Turkish vendor again. You're already being compensated, most masterful of mercenaries. Do you not recall? Kami is fetching your information for you. Return the favour would be a courteous thing to do. Negative. Get someone else to run your errands for you. Very well. Regards, he locks his eyes with you and his voice grows cold. Please inform Herr Amsel that information is regrettably unavailable at his time. Get the hint. What do you need? Errand is simple, hardly worthy of you. I've installed a number of data taps to Berlin's fibre optic network. Part of my civic duty, you understand. These taps provide free matrix access for all who live in the Krez Bazaar. In order to maintain their, their anonymity, each tap's protocol buffer must be reset every few days. I simply wished you to visit each data tap and reset it. Don't you have people for this? My regular errand runners are all indisposed, and delightfully you are here. Besides, you must wait for Kami to return. It is a fortuitous circumstance. Just reset the taps and come back when you are finished. There are 3 of them scattered around this neighbourhood. One is just outside. Look for a metal box with yellow arrows painted atop it. By the time of your return, I should have the information Herr Amsel requested. Okay, and that's it for now. I'm going to stop here. I need to rest my voice. My god, so much talk in this game, and I didn't even like explore every menu option. Yeah, I mean, for me, a game, you know, a video game, a great video game is like the perfect blend of gameplay, music, artwork, sound design, special effects, and sometimes I think RPGs have kind of forgotten that when they get just monstrously wordy to the point that, you know, they almost might have been better served being a book. Like, you don't have to describe every little thing in an RPG because that's what the graphics are there for. Surely. In some ways, I guess it's a bit lazy. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I'll see you guys next time.